Hey y'all, good morning. It's your girl Charnel. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am a psychotherapist in solo private practice, and I'm currently in the transitional phase of growing to a group practice. I'm still at the beginning. And on my channel here, I pretty much walk you through what it looks like to have a solo private practice, what it looks like to be a therapist, and also including things such as like self-care and the lifestyle of a therapist that we don't necessarily always get to see. And so if that's something that you're interested in seeing more of, learning about, then make sure you stick around. Feel free to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. So today is another day in the life, and I am going to be focusing a lot on admin stuff. I really wanted to register my business under a new operating name. So as you guys know, my business is incorporated, and if you are a psychotherapist and you're wanting to incorporate your business, there are some regulations depending on where you're located. So my regulatory body requires that my corporation is titled a certain way. And so it could either be my first name and last name, Psychotherapy Professional Corporation, or my last name, Psychotherapy Professional Corporation. And so it needs to be titled a certain way. However, it seems very businessy. And I was like, okay, I will keep that name for now because it is only me in the practice. But as I'm growing to a group practice, I want to have a more friendly and approachable name. And I don't want to be the face of the organization. And so although my corporation name will still be what it is right now, I will be operating under a different business name. So to the community, or to the world, my company will be known as a specific business name that's separate from that's separate from the actual corporation name, if that makes sense. But I wanted to register that new name today. However, the government has recently put in place that you need a specific company key prior to doing this step. And so I found that out yesterday. I registered it yesterday, and so I have to wait a couple days before I can register my business name that I will be operating under. So that kind of pushes things a bit back, but that's okay. Gotta go with the flow. And so that is something that I want you all to pay attention to. Again, if you're thinking of naming your company, naming your business, just make sure you check with your regulatory body if they have any requirements or stipulations for you to name your practice. Okay. But yeah, so today, first things first, I'm going to do a lot of admin stuff. So I've decided that I have to leave my house. I find that just that motivation isn't there. When you're in your own business, you have to be the one that motivates yourself. You have to be the one that keeps going because no one is going to hold you accountable. And so I've decided I'm not relying on motivation. It's more discipline. And so I've been getting out of my house a bit more, going to coffee shops and to the library, which was where I am today. So I'm going to go to the library and get some admin stuff done, and then I will check back in with y'all later. So I'm actually at my parents' house. I decided to stop by since they live close. No one's here. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna help myself to some food instead of buying food, and instead of eating the same things that I've been eating at home, because you guys know my husband does the meal prepping, and we tend to eat the same thing because of my dietary restrictions around like trying to reduce gluten, trying to reduce dairy, pretty much not having dairy, and so we stick to pretty much the same thing, and my palate is tired of it. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me come over to my parents for lunch, and none of them are home. And so I'm just going to be eating alone, and I'm actually charging my iPad. Have you guys seen this book? It's called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I believe. And I'm on the 4th chapter. I'm about to start the 4th chapter. So far, the book is really good. Reading the description, I didn't think I would necessarily be interested in it, but I've been seeing it everywhere. And honestly, the friendship dynamic that I'm seeing thus far seems really, really interesting. And so while I eat, I'm just going to read. And then I feel like I'm just going to end up staying here. I call my parents. They're not going to be home for a while. So I'm just going to end up staying here and finish up my work probably until the late afternoon. It's noon right now. It's actually 12:30. So probably until like around 4 o'clock, I'm going to do some work here, and then hopefully I will be done with all of my admin stuff by then. And then I will check in and talk a bit more about kind of next steps, group practice, and all that kind of stuff that I feel like y'all would be interested in knowing and learning about. This is baby Charnel. Oh my goodness. They used to call me Cheeky. And actually my dad still calls me Barney because I used to be obsessed with Barney. And then this is me in grade 6. This actually is when I was at this school, my husband actually teaches in that same classroom, which is nuts. But that's the younger version of me, and I think the younger version of me would be super proud of the person that I am today. And so I look forward to continuing to make her proud. I am curious to know, if there was a message that you would be able to tell your younger self, what would you want to tell your younger self? What would that be? Comment below and let me know. Y'all, I am so excited! I actually was just catching up with my little brother, and I got an email that came in, and you know how I mentioned in my last video that I was doing an interview for an intern. So I make things look very, very professional. Okay, I'm kind of like a type A personality like that. So when she applied for the position, I sent her a document just asking her specific questions that I thought was important before we went in to do an interview. She responded, answered those. Then I set up an interview with her, and I just wanted to I also asked her input, because of course I want people that I work with to be happy working with me as well. And then once the interview was done, I sat on it for a bit. I responded within the time frame that I told her I was going to respond in. I sent her an offer letter just like you would get at a job. And then after getting the offer letter, I gave her a timeline so she could respond. I think I gave her up until the end of next week, and she responded. She followed up with a couple of questions after a couple of days. So I gave her a week and a half to respond. She followed up with a couple of questions, clarifying questions, and I answered them. And again, she responded today, and she said, long story short, or I guess it's not a long story short because I told you the whole thing, that she's going to accept the position, and she signed off on the offer letter. And so I have my first employee / intern that will start in January. So I am so excited about this journey. I can't really believe how fast this is all happening. The lighting is trash. Okay, this is better. I can't believe how fast this is all happening. So I have a lot of things to get together. I have to set up the onboarding for her. I have to set up what the orientation will look like so she feels comfortable within this role. And so of course I have about 2 months and a half, so I have time. But yeah, it's just so crazy. And one thing I've been thinking a lot about is possibly joining a group coaching program. And the reason is because although I'm able to do a lot of things on my own, I have been able to do everything on my own up until this point. I feel like I want to get better at having systems, kind of being able to take a step back, not wanting to be the face of be the face of my company, wanting to take a step back. I feel as I'm getting older, I'm talking like I'm old, I'm not old at all. But I feel like I just want to step back and be more in the shadows as opposed to being at the forefront. And sometimes that's even how I feel about social media, where it's kind of I just don't want to be seen. I just want to chill and just be low key and live my life. But anyways, in this aspect, I feel like going the group coaching route will be supportive for me because it will give me more of like deadlines. So like on a weekly basis, I will have more structure of things that I'm working towards so that my group practice can grow faster than how it would grow if I were doing things on my own. So I have decided, and I'm actually so nervous about this because this is a huge financial investment. I've officially decided that I'm going to join a group coaching program. So I'm going to be with like-minded individuals, people who are either already in a solo private practice or who are wanting to grow to a group practice, if they're in a private practice or not at this phase. But I want to be with like-minded individuals because I've shared in previous videos, being in private practice, it can be very lonely. And again, things are just going a bit slower, doing things on my own. Again, I can make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not scared to make mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes throughout my careers. But again, we all learn from them. And I genuinely love learning from mistakes because that's the only way that, one of the ways that we grow and that change happens. But I feel like I just want to speed past making errors so that things can happen faster and so that I can take a step back sooner and so that I can kind of step more into possibly showing up in other spaces as opposed to just having to focus on admin all day, having like a dedicated day to admin and having like so many days where I'm providing therapy. I know it's only 3, but I still feel like I would want to reduce my hours so I don't feel like I have to take on as many clients as I do, because I'm realizing after doing this for 2 years in private practice, my 2-year mark is actually coming up November 1st. After doing this for 2 years in private practice, although it's way less stress because I'm not working as often, I don't have as many clients that I'm seeing or that I'm juggling, it's still mentally and emotionally taxing being in this role as a therapist. So I do want to, again, grow in a group practice for multiple reasons. One of those reasons being so that I can kind of take a step back in this aspect and show up in the world in other spaces as well. I would like to believe that I know that I am a multi-creator in the sense that I like to do a lot of things. And so kind of just sticking with one thing for a long period of time is not my thing. And so kind of going into a group practice will open up that opportunity for me to do other things, whether that be speaking engagements, whether that means doing more mentorship, whether that means showing up on YouTube a bit more to support more of you, whatever that is, business consulting, all of that kind of stuff. In addition to that, I find that as a therapist who's offering one-to-one services or two-to-one services when I'm seeing couples, I find it challenging to also, like, there's only so much that you can make. Like your income is still capped because there's only so many clients that you can see before being burnt out. And of course, my goal in private practice, group practice, is never to be burnt out, but it still happens at times when, again, I kind of push past my boundaries because I'm like, hey, I really just want to help an additional person. I really can do this. But outside of that, there's only so many people we can help as one person, and there's only so much that I can increase my why is the word coming out of my head? My rate for therapeutic services. Of course, I could continue to increase my rate, but at the end of the day, I still want to be able to connect with my community and support my community. And having outrageous fees sometimes could actually be unethical as well. So I'm so limited in the amount of people I could help by being just one person. So that's another reason why I want to go into a group practice. And I guess the final thing, with having a group practice, I will be able to create a sense of community. I feel like when I worked in the community mental health aspect, I often was like, not often, I would say at my last job, and I mentioned I would share with you guys why I quit. I feel like it's just like a hard topic for me to bring up, why I haven't done it yet. But at my last job, I was the only Black person on my team, one of like maybe 3 Black people in the whole organization, and I just felt like I didn't ever have a community in the mental health space there. And I feel like I wasn't represented, I wasn't cared for, I wasn't considered in certain aspects. And I'm not saying I want to have like just a all black group practice. Like, that is not my goal. I want to be able to service everyone and help everyone, but I want to be able to, when they say you can't join a community, create a community. And that's what I would like to do. I would like to create a very inclusive atmosphere for individuals who will be working on my team. I would like to create a very open space where people feel comfortable to be themselves, to be the therapist that they want to be, and to also grow as therapists. And I feel like being in a group practice setting and being a leader within that group practice setting, I would be able to also support clinicians, which I do here, with growing as clinicians, growing as therapists, and feeling more confident within their roles to help other people. And so 3 main reasons of going to group practice, so that of course I still have more free time, more free time, more freedom to kind of just step back, not have to be the face of my company, to be able to support other clinicians, and also to support more people than I can do just being one person. And obviously when you have a group practice, given different price ranges that different therapists might offer within that group practice, we're sometimes more accessible to certain industries that to certain communities that wouldn't necessarily always be as accessible if I was just running the private practice on my own. So that's where I'm at. I'm feeling really great. It's like a great way to end the week. It's actually Friday today, so it's a very phenomenal day to end the week. I feel like completely closing my computer and just being done for the day. But I said I was gonna work until 4, so I have literally 1 more hour until I wrap everything up. Such a weird angle, but we're gonna have to do. I'm in my closet right now. This is my outfit. My husband, I told him about like the intern accepting offers, so he's like, let me take you out to celebrate. So that's what we're gonna do. So I just put on this cute kind of wrap top to really accentuate the boobies. And then I have on these leather bottoms that were fake leather bottoms that I got from Zara. I have it in my fall haul that I did last year. And so I'm actually deciding, I just kind of put a new addition in my closet. I'll show you in just a second. So I'm deciding, should I wear my Gucci Marmont, which is like a velvet kind of feel, has gold in it, or if I should wear my Chanel classic flab. Kind of looks like that. I feel I haven't worn my Gucci Marmont in a while, but just Chanel just always hits. I think it depends on the place that we go to, but I'm deciding between these two. Y'all know I love my designer bags, and I will actually link the videos to the unboxing of these and the review in case y'all are interested. So I'm actually going to show you. So actually these things here, these little signs were signs that I use when I started my practice. I would kind of reference these. So by making conscious choices with full awareness, we take back control of the journey. There's nothing you can say, think, or feel that would ever compromise my love for you, and make adjustments as needed. This was a huge one when I started my practice. Just recognize I can make a choice, and of course, if the choice didn't work out, if the decision I made didn't work out, I can make adjustments as needed. So this really helped me to push my momentum with my business. So those are actually signs. I don't look at them as much anymore, but when I was starting my practice 2 years ago, those were like lifesavers. And yeah, so anyways, this is the new addition in my closet. There we go, we got focus. This is not actually how this is usually organized. My other bag is missing. My other 2 bags actually are missing. I need to get an actual stand for this because I put my only colored bag in the center here, and then the others are kind of position around it. And now I finally have a section in my own closet where I've organized my clothes. Ooh, that's kind of like private clothes. So this is kind of my gym wear that I have. I have bigger sweaters and throws in here. I have just t-shirts. I'm like always in cozy clothes, as you guys know. My sweats, some pajamas in here. And then I have some denim that I don't reach to. Skinny jeans aren't really in anymore. These are a lot of my skinny jeans, so we're keeping them in the case that, you know, they come back in style. And then here I just have some of my jewelry and my kind of duster bags for my designer bags and my Gucci belt. And yeah, so that's kind of the new addition. Now I don't have to share my husband's drawers in his closet. We're going for it, okay? We're doing it, not thinking about it. Life really supposed to change? We are home. Tonight was so much fun. What was the place called, babe? We went to a restaurant called Selva, and it was just such a vibe. The food was really good. I had shrimp tacos. My husband had beef tacos. And then we had a dessert, and it was banana fritters. I was not the biggest fan of the fritters. I felt like it was just too sweet. The combination just didn't hit. But overall, the food was great. The service was great. The vibe was great. The music was great. It was just a nice spot. And the drinks were really good as well. And it did kind of, well, actually, it said the food was influenced by South American and Thai cuisine. We didn't experience much Thai, like the experience of a Thai cuisine wasn't really there because we went to Thailand and they created, like, did a cooking class, all that kind of stuff, so we didn't get that vibe. But I think it's because of what we chose to eat. But overall, place was great. So if you have a chance to visit, make sure you do. I'll leave the information in the description box below. Other than that, I actually officially registered for the group coaching program. So I'm nervous. Again, I said it's a huge financial investment, but I feel like, although I'm nervous, I feel like it is a great decision and it's going to pay off and it's going to be very rewarding. And so I really feel like today I made a life-changing decision, and I can see my future self in like 6 months, I think, being in a very different place, in a very very different place in a positive way in 6 months. So that's the goal. But honestly, I just want to kind of shower, wash off my face, get ready for bed, because your girl just wants to chill for the night. And then, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going to end it off. So thank you so much for spending the day with me. I hope y'all are having a great day, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Make sure to subscribe and click the like button and click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Bye!